and said, young man, take a walk up the street. It's a place there called the YMCA. They can start you back on your way. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything but the mental enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. YMCA. And just go to the YMCA. Young man, I was once in your...
Hello, everybody wanted to know where I was yesterday, and I didn't go for a facelift, but I went for tranny surgery, and I ran into Rico. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. I'm going to bring on George here. There's
Hey, Cucaracha, how are you?
Hello. All I'm missing is my cigar. I should have had the cigar. And Sean is going to be about a minute or two late because he had to reset his router this morning when he got on. Something was going on with that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is say, sorry about not having a show yesterday, but I had something to do that was really important, so I had to do that. So I'm glad you missed us all, though, because we missed you guys. So it wasn't the same without you guys yesterday.
Yep.
It was weird. It was very strange not doing the show yesterday morning. Yeah, Rico's mustache rubbed off on me. All right. So I'm going to open up with a prayer and say, Lord, thank you for this day. We ask that you would guide our path today, and more specifically, our thoughts, words, and actions. Please be with us throughout the day and help us navigate whatever comes our way. Most importantly, help us to reflect and live out our lives in a way that is honoring to you. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Good job. There we go. Stacy. Trixie.
I thought, why did you say lasagna?
Yeah, that's right. Tracy Lasagna.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
Well, you want to say about Veterans Day? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like to put a photo up of my friend Mark. I know him a long time. It's got his. I was trying to put it up on Veterans Day, but for some reason it didn't download. Mark's a Marine, and so his two sons are, which I think is cool. And we thank them for their service. The other thing is, we went to Veterans Day. I always go, and on the bike was like, when we left, it was 40 degrees. So when we got, it's pretty, the wind chill factor was ready. But the guy in the middle there with the black jacket on, he's 99 years old. He's World War II veteran. Korean War veteran, and also a Vietnam veteran. Hey, Sean.
Good morning.
Good morning. So he's 99 years old. His 100th birthday, we're going to get him a letter from President Trump, and we're going to present it to him. And great guy. Still got all his marbles. He goes to the gym, works out. His wife, Julie, is a riot.
She's funny.
Yeah. And they do a whole presentation. Now, I tell everybody that, the veterans were fighting in the rain, in the swamp, Vietnam, in the cold, in Korea. So we shouldn't complain about the cold yesterday. Tuesday, Veterans Day. Because of
iguanas falling out of the sky yesterday, George?
What happened?
Any iguanas falling out of the sky the other day?
No. I know people are going to get hit with them. It's terrible.
There's his wife Julie on the other side, and then Fred.
Fred. Pretty good. There's John. Now what they do every 12 o'clock. If you ever go to a Mission barbecue at 12 o'clock, they always play the national anthem. Everybody stops, takes off their hat. Unless they're veterans, they salute, and they do the national anthem, which is pretty cool. But they do it at every place. Exactly 12 o'clock. But we're not there because the guy
It was cool, though. That was just the coolest thing because that flag was super, super huge. super, super huge. That was on the other
And then
side.
when he started dropping it down, it started hitting the floor. I had to run there to pick it up because some people were supposed to help and they didn't show up. So I went up there. The flag should not hit the floor. So he said, "Oh,
No,
I'm
but they-
sorry." I said, "No, it's sorry. Just could tell us. I'll help you." You know. But it was pretty amazing how they, they treat all the veterans, especially Fred, guy some, what's his name? Last name Jenkins, right? I think
Jenkins.
Yeah, but he shows up every Veterans Day. He shows up Veterans Day, Memorial Day. Guy's amazing. Became friends.
And he's like totally up on tech and everything.
Yeah.
He can take a smartphone and whip through that thing like crazy. And for 99 years old, that is really something. The guy is really.
He was
talking about
the ship.
Yeah, he was talking about his dad worked with the Manhattan Project. That was interesting.
Imagine that. The guy was phenomenal. It's unbelievable. And you have to give him a lot of respect for that. It's unbelievable. So it just we had one. We presented a letter from Trump for a veteran 102 years old. Then we gave him a hat, Trump 2028, and he says, "I'll be 105. I'm going to vote for him if he runs."
USN Mission Barbecue is in Tampa.
Yeah, Mission Barbecue is in Tampa. Yeah, they everybody should visit that place. It's they donate. Last year they have these cups that they're plastic and you pay extra, but all that money is donated to the USO. Last year I think they gave $2.5 million. They donated.
No.
Yeah,
Good place, good organization.
Yeah, they do a great job. And it's it's all the food is all what do you call smoked and everything else. I mean, they have it. It's just unbelievable. The food is great, really is. They got ribs, brisket, pulled pork, and also chicken and
banana pudding.
Yeah,
the only bad thing there is they don't have a bar.
Right?
Yeah, they got beer there.
Yeah,
do they really?
Yeah, beer, but nothing else. No hard.
Not in New Jersey. Well, then again, there's we don't have beer in grocery stores like you guys have down
Well,
here.
you have to bring your own liquor into the pizza places, so I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird. I never heard of anything like that.
Sometimes that can be good though. It could actually save you money, right?
Well, yeah, but it would save you money.
A lot of BYOBs actually saves you money because you can still drink and you're not paying the inflated prices for their liquor license.
Yeah, well, thank God for you and Mark for bringing in booze, or we would have been SOL when we went to go get pizza because I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I let Mark know. I gave Mark a little tip off there.
Well, yeah, Mark has to have his beer wherever he goes,
Right.
Well, I don't know if anybody saw this clip. I think it was kind of funny with
cruelty. He shut the government down longer than any president in American history. Donald Trump's cruelty. He shut the government down longer than any president in American history. Took innocent kids, veterans. Okay, who the fuck keeps spitting on me?
I love that one.
Chuck Schumer's got a lot of. Chucky's got a lot of egg on his face, huh? I mean, he's got the the left side of the party now calling out.
They want to get rid of him. Yeah, they want to make change. They want to become the Democratic socialism. You heard Bernie? Bernie was all out, and they're going to spread like crazy and everything else.
I got to say,
Democratic socialist party. So it's Nazis. Nazis were the same thing.
I don't know if it's a good thing because we say, hey, if it blows up, it may be. I don't know if it's a good thing. If they get taken over by the whole, I mean, they're already taken over by the left anyway. But if you look at all these idiots that are Bernie people and all, they're so brainwashed. They really are. I mean, it's actually scary.
Come off losing our shit.
Well, look at that. I like that one. Yeah, Chuck, the reopening the government, they're going to have a really rough time now because they were saying like with the flights and everything, it's going to take quite a few days to get everything straightened around.
Yeah.
And look at all the other stuff that they're going to have to get going. Even with the SNAP and everything, that's going to take a lot of time to get it. They can't just like press a magic button and everything goes back to normal. You know, it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the portable mortgages yesterday? They were talking about how Trump was going with the 50-year mortgage.
And then
They talked about doing portable, where whatever your interest rate is, like if you got the 2.75% interest rate, you would be able to buy another house and transfer that rate. So whatever rate you had, if it was cheaper than the current interest rate, you would be able to keep that rate for your new mortgage.
Yeah, they're trying to move. They're trying to move the help the young generation get houses. Even about the 50-year mortgage. In Japan, they have 150-year mortgages. They just pass it down to their kids. That's how the contract is. When they go for their contract for their mortgage, the houses are very expensive in Japan.
The problem is your kids never move out then.
Yeah, no. What happens if they die? They keep the mortgage.
I think
that's only in the United States that the kids never move out.
No empty nest in Japan.
No,
but the portable mortgage thing, though, look at the amount of housing that would open up for people, because then the ones that have been holding on because they didn't want to lose their interest rate, you know, trying to downsize when you get, you know, if you're older, or when you're younger, trying to upsize for your to have a family. I think it would be perfect. That it would make the pool of houses open up so much.
When they
yesterday.
Oh, really? I missed that. I didn't hear that one. Wow.
And then the other one is now on the magazine. They had always a young couple about real estate. Now they have a person that's like 59 and in their 60s, because for the simple reason, those are the ones that are buying the houses now. It's not the young generation.
I see Mark just put 50-year mortgage, bad idea. Americans are enough debt. And I kind of agree it could be a bad idea. However, depending on how much you save, I think an issue for a lot of Americans isn't just debt; it's the ability to invest, right? Mm-hmm. So, if that 50-year mortgage, I don't know, I'd have to look at it, but you know, if the 50-year mortgage could bring the payment down enough that you could take some of that money and start investing.
Well, yeah, they're talking about $200 to $500 a month. They're talking about $200 to $500 a month. That's what they're talking about if they go to a 50-year mortgage.
Like Angels just said, longer mortgage will just increase prices. That's true. I mean, every time something gets a little more affordable payment-wise, right, the price-wise can go up a little bit. So there's definitely pros and cons to it. You know, we'll have to see how it shakes out. The big thing is, though, if you get a write-off for your interest, right, now that's going back is that in the big, beautiful bill? So
yeah,
if you have interest, you get more write-off. Right?
I'm all for it. Because it doesn't matter if you've got a 50-year mortgage or not. If you have a 2.75% interest rate with a 50-year mortgage, you can turn around and refinance it into a 30-year mortgage if you want, or a 25-year mortgage, or you can balloon it. You're not stuck with that 50 years. As long as your credit rating is okay, you can change it at any time you want. So I think that's a moot argument on my end.
If you're too old, you put the thing in a family trust.
Yeah.
The kids get the house, they can sell it and pay off the mortgage. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Nobody loses. I mean, you don't own your house anyway because the banks own it.
No, you pay off your mortgage. You don't own your house. Don't pay the property tax.
You don't own your house even if you pay the mortgage off.
That's what I'm saying. The mortgage is paid off. You don't own your house. They'll stop paying the property tax.
Yeah.
See what happens.
And you still don't own a house after you pay the property tax.
Well, Super Trooper says he's an expert on this here. So I don't know. He says portability might be difficult with mortgage securities that are created from mortgage pools. Yeah, that is true. But if you ever go to court and because of your mortgage and you try to have them produce the deed and they can't produce the deed, you own your house free and clear. In those mortgage pools, that's what happens. My uncle had that happen. And it's a true thing. They could not find the deed who hold the original deed. And if they can't find the original deed holder, you own it free and clear.
You remember when the housing market dropped, and then all of a sudden people started selling the houses, and they sold the houses for less than what the mortgage was?
Yeah.
Like say they bought the house at $250,000, but they sold the house $125,000. Now, what happened is you got to claim that other 125,000 as income because they had a thing with a loophole with the banks.
Mhm.
That they didn't lose the money. They would pay the $125,000 that is lost, and then they got you got charged for the taxes on that 125, and you claim it as an income if you're the one
Yeah.
that's the house. So a lot of people don't know that stuff either. I mean,
Yeah, that ends up being a passive income for you. Yeah.
so-
Which is not a good thing if you do that.
Yeah.
What's that called? A short sale, isn't that? What
Yeah,
that
right. Yeah, short sale. Yeah, short sale.
Yeah.
But they didn't say, they didn't explain what the short sale was.
No,
They didn't explain that to people what was going to happen with a short sale.
no, you
Yeah,
have to be
you gotta
buy a house.
educated.
A lot of people may
Yeah.
disagree with me, but the best time to buy a house, I remember my father was a builder. We had like 18% interest rates.
Oh, I remember it was 19. I paid 19.5 out in Long Island. My first house I bought.
So funny
And
story.
you know what the best one was? The best, I started, because I'm very rebellious, as everybody knows. I started a thing out there, believe it or not. The guy comes to me.
You follow the rules. You
No,
the right thing.
A guy comes to me, he says, I said, I'm paying taxes on my house, and they're saying my house. Just think of how much the price was. I paid $34,490 for my house, my first house. My interest rate was 19.5. So I'm looking at my taxes, and now they have a formula. They call it what a tax assessor's office. They multiply your number by another percentage, and that's how much taxes, and they'll tell you what your house is worth, the value, right? So I figured out the numbers. Believe it or not, I'm pretty good at math, and I know how many
Math,
bullets I
spelling,
can take to shoot.
But you're good at math and kicking ass.
Yeah, right. So what happened is, so now I look at the thing and it says my house is worth $50,000, and they just bought the house for $34,000. So I told them, I said, if I can get $50,000 for my house, I'll sell it and buy another house.
Yeah.
So I went to the town and I found out what's the story with the town. Well, they assumed these things. Oh, really assumed? So I hooked up with this guy that was running for office. He was a tax assessor, and they told me how the numbers work. We filed, I think we filed 20,000 petitions to the town of Brookhaven. We did a called People for Tax Freedom, and he helped us. He gave us an office. He had a real estate office, and he gave us the office and everything else. So people would come in and file the grievances, and we presented it. The average price that we got down on the taxes of the house was $500. So some people got $750, some people got $250, but the average was $500.
That's a lot of money now.
But this is how they, this is how they.
More. Yeah.
My brother-in-law in New York, and what he called, they own a house, 6-family house in Brooklyn. I told him to sell it because they could tell him how much to charge his tenants for rent and how much, and how much they could.
Now the government's your partner.
They can do eminence domain and take his house over and say, here's $1 million instead of getting $6 million.
But now they're your partner with no investment, right?
Yep.
So but back then, what I was going to say is my dad was a builder, and he was building houses, and people had, like I said, 18-19% interest rates, and then the houses sold for around $75,000-$80,000, right? 3-bedroom colonials, 4-bedroom colonials, and then after the interest rate came down, those houses shot up about $100,000 in value, and meantime, the people were able to write off those high interest payments. So, it wasn't, you're better off then because you paid less for the house, but you got to, your interest was higher, but you got to write off for it.
There's always something to wine and dine about something.
Well, I know the chat's going nuts over here about this. Some people are arguing that it's a good thing, and some people are arguing that it's a bad thing. But my only thing, like my opinion on it was, for younger people to get a foot in the housing, that's the only way they're going to be able to do it. They can't do it now. They can't come up with, $100,000 for a down payment and then pay, 10% interest or whatever the hell it is right now. But at some point they would be able to refinance it and get, or something. I mean, it's just a way for them to get entry into the market because right now it's not happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Super Trooper does tax appeals. If anybody needs property tax appeals, it looks like he's the guy.
All right, Super Trooper. We should get him as a guest on here.
Yeah, Mark is arguing about manufacturing jobs. Okay, Mark, how many people have you hired at your Fear Wedge yet? because nobody's hiring for manufacturing jobs. And I understand your position on that, but nobody's going to be a debt slave if they're money smart, because you can get into that when you're young and turn around and refinance it or sell it. It's all about asset value and your return on investment. That's the only point I was making, because young people can't do it right now.
Let me tell you how smart builders are. All right. Investors, but forget about builders, but investors. This investment group built 4,000 homes not far from here in 3 different locations. And the houses you can't buy, they're rentals. They're charging anywhere, because people can't afford to get a mortgage. So they're charging anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month for the house, for the 3-bedroom homes. Standard house. I went to look at one of them, and they just, 3 bedrooms, a bed, 2 beds, and a kitchen and everything else. It's just enough, but they're
Mark's hiring now.
Really?
Let's go. We're going to work for Mark.
Yeah, go.
Well, good, because if he's hiring, he can afford to put a commercial here on our show then.
Hey, Mark, I'm coming to work for you. You got people there? I'll be a foreman.
Mark, George will be the tester to see if those golf clubs put any fear in people.
Yeah.
He swings them at them.
We can use the club this way, or we can use the club that way. So you can't tell too many people how to use a club.
Well, like Mark just said, the hard part is finding skilled labor. But you know what? I think that's the hard part of any job, is finding someone skilled, whether it's
that's the problem. That's why when they killed all those schools with the shops in it, with everything.
Yeah, but not just. I think every business is having problems finding. When I say skilled people, I mean I know labor is different, but
he's bringing in,
it wants to even come to work properly.
You see who he's bringing in? H-1B visa holders.
He wants to hire my chair, he said.
Yeah, that's funny. You should put the mustache back on and tell me how you.
He's going to hire Sean's chair, he said.
Actually, hey, I just ordered a new chair. I'll be here next week, because this chair is a pain in the neck, so I'm getting a new one. So say good, to get a good look at it. It's going to be going next week.
That's right. Me too. Super trip. I had my union. Yep. I was with the electricians union. Yep. Yes, I did.
He's bringing a club for George to try out.
Yeah, I can try, test them out. I got a couple of people lined up already for that bucket thing. Oh,
yeah. I do. Oh, well, you know what? Let's play this one for Sean. Because he always likes this guy just so much.
Americans do not trust Congress. From the highest levels of office, an elected member of this body enabled the fraudulent spending of $32 million out of the pockets of our American people and threw it down the drain to knowingly chase ghosts, all for political gain. This man occupied a position of the highest trust and authority. As chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff launched an all-out political campaign built on baseless distortions against a sitting U.S. president at the expense of every single citizen in this country and the honor of the House of Representatives. With access to sensitive information unavailable to most members of Congress and certainly not accessible to the American people, Schiff abused his privileges claiming to know the truth, while leaving Americans in the dark about this web of lies. Lies so severe that they altered the course of the country forever. The lie that President Donald Trump colluded with Russia to steal the 2016 presidential election, revealed to be completely false by numerous investigations, including the Durham report. The lie that the Steele dossier, a folder of falsified and since completely debunked collusions, accusations funded by the Democrat Party, had any shred of credibility. Yet Schiff read it into congressional record as fact. Lies concocted and compiled in a false memo that was used to lie to the FISA court to precipitate domestic spying on U.S. citizen Carter Page, violating American civil liberties. Not only was this egregious abuse of Schiff's privileged access to classified information.
You know, at this point, Adam Schiff getting caught lying is like the sequel no one asked for. Same plot, just more drama. But today, the curtain finally dropped on years of deception. Members of Congress, Paulina Luna and Harriet Hageman, went straight for the truth. And Schiff couldn't hide behind his Intel Committee secrets this time. $32 million wasted, trust in Congress shattered, and the country divided, all because one man couldn't stop pretending he had smoking gun evidence.
Now we'll go back to why he could do that, why he could lie all that time and everything else, and it's about the Smith-Mundt Act. Yeah, listen, you're gonna have to use some makeup on that watermelon head there.
You'll like this one. Speaking
That is
of
why I want you, my fellow San Franciscans, to be the first to know. I will not be seeking re-election to Congress.
I had to throw that in. Speaking of makeup.
Going back to Schiff, though, right? Politics aside, right? To sit there and actually lie, like with when he was pulling Don Jr. in, collusion in plain sight and all that stuff. I mean, if you stand for something different than your opponents, whatever you want to say, and you stand for something different is one thing, but to flat out lie and have zero morals, and then sit there like you're the high moral person, it's pathetic. I mean, and then I don't know what's worse, him doing that or the people reelecting him. Are they? I mean,
50% is cheating, and I think Jersey had a good spot on that one.
Yes, I've been on the phones the last couple of days with some people with some things, some interesting things, or maybe.
But
I don't know. I mean, nothing's going to change anything. I think.
If you notice what the rhinos and the news and the fake news media was saying was because a lot of people decided to move out of Jersey and move out of New York. But New York was always like that, especially the city itself, Manhattan, because that's what the majority. And then they got the registered people that got their licenses, illegals got licenses, and they were registered to vote. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit there. Even in Jersey, the same stuff happens. So,
well, it happens through the DMV when they come in, right? So they come in.
And a CDL license you get too.
But when they come in, they get registered to vote, right? So then they don't even have to vote. The people don't even have to vote. Now you have a voter base that you can just go and produce ballots for.
Yep.
So
you can order them from China. You go to ballots from China.
Yeah, but let's say Joe Diaz comes in, right? And they give him a driver's license. And Jose Diaz is, let's just say, illegal. Well, they now have Jose Diaz on the voter roll. They can just create a ballot for him. They don't have to even send it to Jose Diaz. Is the whole thing. So there's things getting looked at. We'll see what happens, but there's definitely things getting looked at.
Yeah, I'm reading something that Tiogi's writing.
What happened?
No, but Tiogi was writing. What was Luna talking about? Doug's putting. Yeah. The whole thing is they're allowed to lie. All the Congress, all the Senate, fake news media, they're all allowed to lie because of that act that they passed, and they put it back in again.
It's so funny that the approval rating for Congress, right? They always say is very low.
Yeah.
But yet, an incumbent gets voted back in 98% of the time. How does that happen? Right?
Stupidity.
Well, is it stupidity, or is there a machine there that just generates ballots and gets them back in?
I don't know. It's pretty depressing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's depressing.
You know what the thing is? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to change. It's going to be very hard to change. The only way we're going to do that is to get rid of them. To get them. You got to change the whole system. You got to change all the people that are in there and everything else. You got to get rid of these rhinos. I mean, the President Trump is telling them to use the nuclear thing, and they won't use it. I don't understand. They just
to use the filibuster, and they won't do it. It's like, what the hell's the matter with them?
Because they just do what they want. It's a game because they could delay, and it's a game. It's all a game for them to make money. Everything is all bullshit.
Policy. I think a simple majority just to keep it moving would work. I do think the filibuster is good in some things but in this case, to hold people hostage, people couldn't get their pay, people couldn't get their whatever snap, whatever they have to snap, or probably people shouldn't even be on it anyway. So.
Well, that's what they said. They should refile again. Everybody should go up there and do all the programs over again. So we should re-register. Because you don't know, these people they just gave them out. Biden just gave them out. No identification, nothing. Just gave them out to people. You remember that the black woman that kept on saying, I got my Obama phone. I got my Snap program. I got my Obama. They got everything. Remember the free internet and everything else pushing, but we have to pay for all that stuff. And the best thing about the hospitals and stuff, they go into the hospital. They cannot be refused medical. They cannot be refused any medical.
Yeah, they're not going to. Yeah.
Pays for it. We pay for it. We pay for it. And this is the problem with the system. They don't stop. What's my something stuck?
No, I got to grab a piece of paper and pencil for the trivia question.
I'll write it down. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I got the question, but you need to write down the answers. Though.
All right, Sean's there. He'll write it down.
Okay.
He's ready.
But we'll do it later. But I just remembered I forgot the piece of paper and pencil by me. So you guys are talking about that all this stuff about re-election and everything, and you know how Trump usually has a plan on things and everything. This is kind of an interesting clip I want to play real quick.
See, I'm so loyal to people. Maybe I'm loyal to a fault, but I'm so loyal to people that when somebody's slightly disloyal to me, I look upon it as a great act of horror.
Then how are you different than you were 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, I used to say, and in fact, I think I said in my first book that, and maybe this was foolish, but I really meant it, that someday I'd like to maybe lose everything for a period of time to see who's loyal and who's not loyal. And I found out a lot of things.
Did you find out who's loyal and not loyal?
I tell you what, and you can't guess it. You can't predict it. You think certain people would be loyal no matter what, and it turns out that they're not. And you just can't predict it. It's very difficult.
True.
It happened. It pretty much happened when they tried to freaking put him behind bars. He knows who's loyal to him and who's not.
Isn't that funny though? Because that was done a long time ago, and and like what you're saying, it played out. And he found out. And that's just like the Rona Barrett interview years ago, too, where he said, she asked him about running for president and everything. And he said, if I had to step in, I would and everything. It makes you wonder, like with everything that's going on, if this was really planned, for the last 20 years for all of this to end up coming this way. And they always say it's like a movie, and get your popcorn. Yeah, that's all. That's where I was going with that.
I've seen it even running for local stuff here. Like you say that, when he went to run, you're going to see who your real friends are. I mean, I have people I know for a while. Hey, is it okay we put a sign in front of your home? Oh, I don't want a sign there. They didn't want a sign in front of it.
It's a problem. People got to get balls back.
Yeah.
They got to get their balls back because this is crazy.
Yeah.
You got these people come out and scream. Look at me. I got another video I'm going to play tomorrow about an actual Karen come out. These people, there's a group of people that are always on West Palm Beach that always welcome the president with the flags and everything else like that. People jump out of the cars. This woman came out like a bed, and they just don't stop. That Trump deranged syndrome is unbelievable. I mean, they're going to have to actually put places up for these people. I believe they have to put these centers up to deprogram these people how bad it was. But it's amazing. I used to train dogs a long time ago, right? You could put a dog in a basement and keep feeding them. You're the only one that feeds them, right? Turn the light on when you feed him, turn the light, leave him in the dark. And the only one he's going to know is you. Nobody else, everything else. And that's exactly what the fake news media does. They keep on pushing this propaganda that they're not liable for. And they all say the same narrative. You could watch 10 of the shows and they all say the same shit. Each one of them. The only ones that might change.
They got their marching orders.
Newsmax is more reliable, I believe. But now you got all these people claiming stuff out, and then again bringing up this bullshit story about the Trade Center. It wasn't the planes that came into the buildings, and what the fuck did I see? And the Pentagon. I got a friend of mine. In fact, Jimmy, he was in there, the colonel, and what the Marines did. What the Marines did that day. There's a lot of stories that people don't know about these pieces. And it's true, our government was behind it. Put behind that. They knew it was happening. But they didn't think they had the balls at the time to do it, but they all knew about it. That I'll agree with 100%.
You want me to play this about with DeSantis?
Yes, this was very good.
Yeah. Mr. President, your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zorhan Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zorhan Mandami.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. We don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government. And by the way, they get about 3 times what you get, Ron. If you look at the per capita, Florida gets 1/3 of what New York gets in terms of the numbers. Why don't you give us those numbers?
Yeah, well,
because that's what we should send him.
Yeah, well, like sometimes people say Florida gets more because they count Social Security recipients, but that's not money to the state. Those are seniors that live here. If they moved to North Carolina, you could count it there. So it has no interaction with the state government. They get more in the city and state governments than we get.
Right, substantially. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, we're going to look at everything, and ideally. He's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist. I've always said, we will not have socialism in this country. In the speeches, I said, well, what? They skipped socialism. And you get a lot of them like that.
That's true, too. That's true.
It's scary. It's scary that even catches wind of these people, and if you look at the people that all push it, 3/4 of them they're all looking for a handout, right? They all think, might as well give them a handout. Probably more than 3/4. They're probably conservative.
I think it's really sad though that it's actually got down to this, because how many years, from between World War I, World War II, then the Korean War, then you had the Vietnam War, Afghanistan, Iraq, all that stuff. And it didn't teach anybody anything. All the younger kids with no, when they don't teach history in high school or anything, look what it came down to. Came down to where we're on a precarious path right now. Once New York goes that way, if they move the financial institutions, which they've started doing outside of New York, that's going to decimate New York. And that's the biggest city too. So what's going to be the draw for people to come even visit here anymore? They won't want to, because it's not America anymore. It'll be just like Europe, and Europe is going downhill so fast.
We're being set up by a lot of these foreign entities and stuff like that. And we got 42 Muslims in Congress, right? And I think one's in the Senate and the rest are in Congress. And they don't take an oath on the Constitution, which according to the Quran, they can't respect the Constitution. So they're not following the law of the land, of our land. They're following the law of their land. And then what happens is they keep a lot of them that came here, like Adami there, they have dual citizenship. And I think if you're being in an office, you shouldn't have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
You should be an American citizen, period. No dual citizenship. I mean, I'm just talking about Congress. Don't forget all these local offices that were done. There's about 185 Muslim people in offices now, and they don't care about anything else. Their plan is, I'll play a video tomorrow again. I'll do it today to tie up too much shit. But we got warned in 1991 about this whole stuff, and there was a Muslim act that they weren't supposed to be serving in office and everything else. In 1952, I believe that was done by McCarthy. And what happened was, in 1991, who was it? Bush.
1,000 points of light. Remember that? Remember that speech? 1,000 points of light. That was the beginning.
Right. And then what happens is Congress and everything else, they took that act out, the Muslim Act. 1991, the same time as Bush. So everybody thinks about the Bush family, all that shit and everything else. They're unbelievable. There's so much stuff out there. It just aggravates me. I just avoid to talk to myself.
Well, Ginger says she thinks New Jersey has more Muslim mayors than anywhere else. That may be true. I don't know. A lot of it up in North Jersey, I can tell you that.
Here's the total. I'll give you the total. I was going to show these pictures later. Tomorrow I'll do it, but there's a total of, let's see, how many? In the United States, there's 4,443,978 Muslims. in the United States, and I got state by state. New York is 724,000, which I think is more. And I was very surprised of Michigan and Minnesota. They took the head. Minnesota only has 114,000. That's a lie, I think.
Just go to Dearbornistan and walk around someday. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, well, they just look at that jerk off mayor was reciting Muslim quotes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, from Minnesota. Oh yeah, Jake. What's his name? Jacob Fry, the guy from Minneapolis. Yeah.
But that's how many are in there, and they.
You know what you yell at?
You know how many Jews are in the United States? About 6 million. And you know how many? You know what the total population of them throughout the world is? Only 16.5 million. The Muslim population is 2.1 billion. So, but they always come, and Christians are 2.5 billion, but they always complain about too many Jews. That's what the problem is.
Well, you ready for a little trivia?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It better be good because or else I'll be pissed off.
You're not going to be mad. This is a good one. At the 1964 Republican National Convention, which conservative senator won the presidential nomination, marking a major ideological shift in the party?
What was that again? Repeat that.
And at the 1964 Republican National Convention, which conservative senator won the presidential nomination, marking a major ideological shift in the party?
Whoever said it.
Oh, well, then I'd be really pissed off if you said it.
That was some.
All right, so Doc Kurt says Goldwater. Red Ginger.
Goldwater.
Says Goldwater.
Who's writing them down?
I'm reading them and writing them. I'm multi-talented.
Oh, I'll read them off and you write them down. How's that, Sean?
Christ.
Love says Ford. Mark says Goldwater. USN says Goldwater. Nut says Goldwater. Shar says Goldwater. We got too many old people in our chat.
It sounds like I can stop writing at this point, I guess.
Mark says Barry Manilow.
Yeah, it could have been Barry Manilow.
It could have been.
What was his song? I can't remember his song. I got a brain fart. What was his phrase? You gotta see women
write the songs that make the young girls cry.
Yeah. Yeah. The girls would, I love you. I leave my husband for you.
You know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of Popo Gijo from the show.
That's funny.
Now, Pat Carr gave me the name of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, Red. Mandy. That was the song, Mandy.
Her Superior Court.
Yeah.
So my wife worked for a Superior Court judge at one point too. Let's see,
I think everybody kind of quit after that. After Barry Manilow, that broke the mold. That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
He's gay? You're assuming they love Christ. He's not gay.
He's just a happy guy.
He's just a happy guy. Which gay you're talking about? The gay of being happy or the other gay?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
so Dr. Kurt was the first one.
Hey, you missed this, Sean. Look how I opened the show this morning.
Oh, you had the mustache on, huh?
Yeah, Rico stopped by last night.
Trying to be Rico?
No, Rico stopped by and it rubbed off.
Oh.
That's what happened. No, they thought I said I was going for a facelift on the show the other day because we took yesterday off.
Oh, all right, yeah.
But I didn't go for a facelift.
Who said you're going for a facelift?
Barry Manilow has kids. Look at that. Copacabana, that was my favorite song.
So
I went to Studio 54. A lot of people.
So does Bruce Jenner, right?
Yep. That's right.
And see, it did rub off. I can't even get it off.
You should put it on your ass.
No. I can't get it off my fingers.
Oh, my God.
So big ICE raid in Florida, I guess, right? 230 illegal aliens.
Yeah, you know what it was called? Operation Dirtbag.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good name. I like that. Operation Dirtbag.
Yeah.
I gave him that name.
You gave him that name. Yeah. Well,
So
I don't have a
so
sombrero, Money.
Yeah, Money Man's looking for your sombrero in the chat.
Yeah.
Somebody, let me tell you something. What these ICE agents are going through, we got to keep them in our prayers, man. Let me tell you. I mean, they get, especially Chicago. That piece of shit governor should get arrested. I don't know why Trump don't arrest him. I mean, like I said, Lincoln did it, and he's got the rule to do it. He's got to be allowed to do it. I mean, that Congress should put their foot down and tell him, but no, you can't do it, because, Johnson's a piece of shit, and so is Toom, so you ain't going to change them.
Well, Johnson was getting some credit last night.
Yeah, don't give him credit. He's got no credit. He should arrest a lot of people. He should stop all the judges.
I'm talking about with the shutdown. What not
doesn't matter about the shutdown. They're playing a game. They should have done what they should have done in the first place. The nuclear option, that's what they should have done.
I don't know. I just think it's really
Democrats are going to use it. If we don't get our shit together in 2026 and make sure exactly how that finger looks, if we don't get our shit together for 2026 and get these people out to vote like they did for Trump, we're going to be up shit's creek. The Democrats will take over, and they're going to force the judges. They're going to have 13 judges in there. They're going to use the nuclear option. They're going to do it.
Yeah, they will.
They'll
pack the courts. They'll do the redistricting laws.
You might as well just forget about this country.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of the upcoming 26 federal midterm election, mail-in voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't they? Because obviously the elections are all state, but when it's federal, can't he put an end to the mail-in ballot box, the drop boxes and all that because of federal election? Can't he do that?
Oh man, yep. I don't know. Yeah, but if it's an executive order, whoever comes in next can just
Well, yeah, but at least you kind of stop any type of illegal stuff that's going to happen to help push people into the house.
Here's a point of information. There's a lot of executive orders. I can give you the list if everybody's interested. But Trump did a lot of executive orders that did not turn around. They didn't. They were too stupid. They overlooked it. But there's a lot of nuclear options that a lot of executive orders that Trump did that are in effect. And that's why you're going to see the military. I'm just telling you, there's going to be a lot of military action. A lot of the... You're going
back to the continuity of government executive orders, right? Under the national emergency, and it can be anything like for voting and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah, let me get into it. That would be another subject or something. Anybody have any questions? Put them on our webpage, and we'll answer the question. How's that one? Tell them to go visit the webpage.
I don't know. I gotta update the webpage. I haven't been on it weeks. So
we should put some stuff. I got to put some.
I know. I want to change.
No, I'm not blaming. Take it easy. I'm not blaming you.
No, I know. I got to change some of the videos and stuff on there, freshen it up a little bit like that. But when you're talking about like the nuclear option and everything, what's going to happen if they do that? They're gonna go ahead and grandfather in all the illegals, and they're gonna make them citizens.
But that's what I'm saying. If they use it, we should use it now.
Mm-hmm.
We got to overpower what they plan to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing I'm afraid of is them, making them all legal.
They're going to use it. That's exactly what they're going to do. The whole thing is, whichever way you want to put it, and I'm going to tell you, if things don't get changed on 2026, if we lose Senate and the Congress, you're going to see a revolution in this country. Mark my words.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely, because we can't sustain what's going on right now with the division and with not just the division, but the polarity between left and right is so immense that there's no way that you're ever going to be able to make everybody come together. It's just not going to happen. And with all the illegals here, it just really made it even worse.
Remember when they asked me at Hometown Heroes Day and stuff like that, words of wisdom? I turned around. I just said, I could have said other stuff, and I said, a bird flies needs a left wing and a right wing.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, this bird is just like crapping out because the left does not. There's plenty of problems on the right, but the left does not want. They hate Trump so much, they don't care about nothing. But one thing you got to give them credit for: they all stick together. I'm very surprised about these other Democrats that gave up. But a lot of these Democrats that gave up their vote with the Republicans are not running. a lot of them aren't running for office.
Do you remember, what was it, 2016 or 2018 during the midterms? I can't remember which. It must have been 2018 when they ran all the CIA candidates.
Yep.
And that's when a lot of them got in, and that's where a lot of the dirty stuff happened too, because now they're entrenched in Congress and the Senate, and they're going to stay. And now who are they beholden to? The deep state. And that's
if they wanted to stop what they were supposed to stop, they should have not approved any of these people coming into Congress. They still had to. You win the election, but if they win the election, there's a clause in about the election that they have to uphold the Constitution. If they do not uphold to the Constitution, they should be removed by Congress. They have the right to do that. It's in the Constitution, and that's what Jefferson did, right? Thomas Jefferson did, and Adams did. They wrote it in. That's why they did that thing. Jefferson did that thing about the the Judicial Act of 1801 and 1802, because so the power would not be among the courts. It had to be done by Congress and everything else. So if you make the courts have the power, there's no reason why Supreme Court has to judge Trump on his fucking tariffs.
Yeah,
our tariffs were in existing before 1913, and that's how the United States economy worked on the tariffs. Not what they're trying to do, that they're fighting them. It's not. What do you mean it's not right that we shouldn't charge? The other countries charge us tariffs. Are you kidding me or what? And then you're going to have the challenge of the Supreme Court. They bring this up.
Yeah, but
Congress should stop it.
Yeah, it's the separation of powers, and they're overstepping their bounds on that.
But they're supposed to. Congress should say they can't do. They can't judge it. Supreme Court cannot judge on that thing about the tariffs.
Exactly, because as long as Congress made the law, Trump is enforcing it. The Supreme Court has no say-so whatsoever on whether it's legal or not. They really shouldn't be, because it was a law enacted by Congress.
I don't
know. I know what you get. You get so frustrated with all the stuff that's going on because everybody's overstepping their bounds on everything, and it's not right.
What I'm saying is, if they were truly who they say they were in Congress, Johnson especially, he got the job of controlling the House, the Speaker of the House. No one could come into that House. The president cannot come into that House unless you give him permission. Trump is not allowed in Congress unless he gets permission from the Speaker of the House. That's how much power the Speaker.
That's why he gets invited to, or that's why the president gets invited to the State of the Union.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how much the president just goes and does. That it gets invited by Congress.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Congress is not defending Trump. Congress is fighting him. They proved their fucking point in August. They both held the gavel, Toon and Johnson together. You hit the hammer 1 minute a day. Congress is in session. All of Congress left. All the senators left. They were the only two left behind to keep Congress in session once they had the gavel and they hit the desk with the gavel. Put Congress in session. So because Trump had 150 recess appointments to do, and they stopped him. And one of them was supposed to be Matt. Right? And that was all stopped because then he would have been effective and destroyed after everybody. They would have got rid of Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi's, she's on the ledge because Trump brings her name up a few times about, what's the story here with the arrest and stuff?
Yeah.
And then now the Democrats right away, again, here we go, Epstein's list. Trump was on the Epstein list.
Yep.
They started that shit again. So this
Look
is
here, not there. Look here, not there.
But the whole thing is, the House can stop these things from coming out. They can stop because they're against the rules. They're against the laws of the land. You know.
What's that book you put up, Sean? What's the link you put on there?
Dr. Kurt Schlegg said something about read the book Stolen Elections. So I looked up on Amazon, and I'm assuming this is the book, but it says in 2019, 2 U.S. government whistleblowers investigating the Venezuelan government's involvement in drug trafficking, money laundering, inadvertently discovered an international conspiracy to influence elections in the United States and in over 70 countries around the world. So,
we didn't play that one about Congress. Did we play that one about Congress? Oh shit! Damn it!
No, it's not up there.
Anyway, that's why I put that link there.
We got 2 minutes. Let me find.
I was wondering why you put that up there. So that's a good source for anybody that wants to read up a little bit about that. Did you see Social Security right now is looking at a 2.7% increase or 2.8% increase? They haven't actually announced it yet.
Yeah, but they had the balls to extra 10% increase. Why don't they give us 10% increase? No, we're the taxpayers. But they can get 10%. They make
but Elizabeth, did you see the bill Elizabeth Warren put up? She put up a bill right now for
about the $200.
$200 a month for the first 6 months of the year for if you're on Social Security. It ain't gonna pass.
Well, that's
George, I can't hear our leader, George. You're talking over her.
Because she gets bent out of shape with Elizabeth Warren with that bill that she tries to pass, that fake Indian. Whatever
it's not going to pass because it's a House bill. It's not going to pass. They're in the minority. It's unless there's a bunch of Republicans.
Now, when you play this one, listen to what Dickhead says about Argentina, that we gave money to Argentina.
Okay, but I wanted to talk about, yes, Medicare is going up way more than what we're getting a raise for.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that tomorrow because I know about the numbers on that one. I'll play this for George.
Come here.
Yeah, listen to this.
Saying that we own it if we don't throw more subsidies, pour more diesel on the fire to the fire that they started. That's what's happening right now. That's what for the American people to understand. Insurance companies.
Bail out Argentina.
Insurance companies, 1,032% stock prices up since 2010. 448% up from 2013. 85% of the revenues for insurers come from the federal government. What my Democratic colleagues are proposing is an insurance company enrichment scheme. It's literally what they're doing, is printing money in the Treasury and giving it to insurance companies. That's their solution for healthcare. Right. Enriching insurance companies that are the very people that are telling the American people which care they can get and not get. There's no chance for an American to go to the doctor of his or her choice. There's no chance for them to go get care. There was no chance for my constituent who lives near Fredericksburg, Texas, to go to MD Anderson to get care because she's on Obamacare, which can't go to MD Anderson. And if the cancer that I had when I went to MD Anderson came back and I'm on Obamacare as a member of Congress, I couldn't go to MD Anderson. Because of the situation that my Democratic colleagues have put the American people in. Going around and preening that you're somehow caring for people more by giving them coverage for care that doesn't actually provide them care. While insurance companies get rich. $35 billion in subsidies in 2024 for people who didn't even use their plan. It's absolutely unconscionable. That is right. That is the correct word. It is unconscionable what we have done to the healthcare system, destroying it for the American people so that they can't get the care of their choice. That's what's happened. And now you hold the government hostage for 45 days and then try to come lecture Republicans about it when you've been holding the American people hostage to a broken healthcare system for 15 years. That's what's been going on. The fact is, Madam Chairman or Chairwoman, we are here today trying to proceed with, I think, reason, with 3 appropriations bills combined with a continuing resolution through January. After having tried with reason to fund the government through November 20th so that we could continue the debate on the various issues in question. But our Democrat colleagues refused to do it. And so now we've got the opportunity in front of us to extend, fund government at current levels, roughly flat, trying to stave off the inflation that is the direct consequence of the massive amount of government funding that has been going on by both sides of the aisle, but heavily being promoted from my colleagues here on the other side of the aisle, who want us to throw another $1.5 trillion at it. That's literally what they were saying. It's not a solution. That's just printing more money while trying to go run campaign ads while you shut the government down for very clearly and obviously political purposes.
I want to talk about this tomorrow. We ran out of time, but I got a hell of a lot to say about this with the Medicare premium and the insurance companies in this. I really do.
I know you got.
Yeah. I want to do a rant on this tomorrow if you guys don't mind. You know.
I lose my rant. Well, then you have to put yours
You
up.
can still do your rant, but I know it's
No. You take over.
I gave you one.
George cut you off a lot. You take over for him with your rant.
Thanks for sticking up for me, Sean.
That's George's punishment.
Listen, you got the rant face I sent you.
The rant face.
The one with the eyes coming out with the flames and everything else.
Oh, yeah. I got that. Yeah, that'll be perfect for tomorrow. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are talking about this in the chat about the Medicare premium and the raise on Social Security. And it all ties into this shutdown in the government, and it ties down into subsidies for the insurance companies. And I know exactly what's going on with that. So, yeah, I would love to do that tomorrow.
Rant in the chat, it looks like. So I think people are looking forward to your rant in the chat.
Well, yeah, I usually don't rant too much. I usually laugh more than anything else, but that'll be a good one.
So this will be like an exclusive.
Yeah, whoop exclusive.
Well, we have an exclusive for tomorrow. Tune in.
Yeah.
Well, Mark will be here tomorrow.
What?
What's that, George?
He said Mark will be in tomorrow.
Yeah, Mark's gonna be mad at me tomorrow for saying that about hiring people, because now he's probably gonna get get a whole bunch of resumes sent to him for that.
He may have 5 new hirees by tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I'm gonna put it all over the place. Mark's hiring
for Fear Wedge. It's Fear Wedge at yahoo.com. That's how you get a hold of him.
Fear Wedge.
You know who answers? You know who answers? His wife. That's what does it.
Yeah.
Thank God for Marjorie. Oh my God, thank God for her.
She's so nice.
We gotta do a candlelight vigil for how much she puts up with Mark. We have to do a whole thing with
Oh yeah, well,
we got Marjorie's number. Don't worry about it, Mark. We got Marjorie's number, so we can tell her direct. You know, you ain't making the chat.
Red Ginger said Saint Marjorie. Oh, come on, Mark's not that bad. That she's a saint now. I mean,
no, he's good. I have to say, I gotta.
No, she's funny. Give her a couple beers and she'll
tell you what. She's a lot of fun. She's a good person.
Oh yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we gotta go. It's 6 after 10 already.
Let's get out of here.
Goodbye, everybody.
Go over to Mike Schwartz's show and see what he's got going over there. I don't know if Amber May is still hosting.
Yeah.
Is Mark at I don't know where Mike is. And Mark already left, so we're not getting in trouble now.
Mike's in Florida.
Is that where he is?
Yeah, playing baseball.
Oh, at Yankee spring training? It's not spring training.
It's not spring training. Spring training hasn't started yet, but it's like Yankee camp or something. So
that's okay. Okay. I didn't know where he was. I guess I'm not supposed to know.
Right here in Tampa, but does he tell us? No.
Maybe he'll get.
We just saw the whole thing yesterday. The Yankee sign and everything for the exit to go to spring.
I know.
Well, what a shit.
I know what a shit.
What a shit. I hope you heard that, Schwartz. You're a shit.
We ain't going to we ain't going to this thing next year.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Frisky Friday. And I don't.
We're gonna be frisky. You have no idea how frisky we're gonna be tomorrow.
Where is to be frisky?
I don't know. You can be as frisky as you want, I guess. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.